I did not have a sense of going in, oh my gosh, this is like a really big deal. It was an audition that I was going on, and I was going on a lot of auditions at the times,
Yeah.
and I was going on auditions for, bigger films. So it wasn't something that struck me as, oh my gosh, like this thing. It was just another day, another audition, went to the callback, went to then the second callback, and that's where I met Roland Emmerich. And it wasn't different necessarily than other auditions, right? You have the casting director, you have the director now, there's some of the producers present, and that's normally the natural evolution of a process. You go in the first time, and maybe it's just the camera person and the casting director. And then the party grows a little bit, and then it grows again. And so it didn't strike me as anything that was out of the ordinary. And I will say that from the moment Roland and I met, there was just something where we just really loved each other. It was like it's hard to
I
explain.
see
Like
you.
yeah, yes, that. I see you. It was that. Exactly, David. Yes, thank you. You
Wow.
got it. Yeah.
When you connect with another human that you've just met on a creative level, the alchemy is there, and it's just here we go. Now
Oh
what,
my,
coach?
yes. Oh, I love that you just used this word alchemy. That's really extraordinary. That's it.
So you
Yeah.
meet in the audition. The second
Hmm.
audition goes well.
Yeah,
Was
I met
it?
him in the third
Oh,
one. So it was the second callback. So I went to the audition, then I went to the callback, and then it was the second callback, I believe. Now, granted, this is 30 years ago, so don't hold me to this.
okay.
I remember it going. But I do remember the moment I met him. And it was a moment where the crowd in just the room was bigger, and there was just something that was really, really beautiful between us.
Wow.
And then I found out shortly after that that I had booked the film, and I still didn't get it. I really did not understand. I don't think I really understood until we got to Yuma, Arizona, and they like carved out Arizona to be Egypt. And then the thousands of extras that were there. Really, I think that's the moment. And even still, I'm an 11-year-old girl. So there's a certain perception and understanding I have of everything at that time. But there was something where I really got, oh, wow, this is actually a much bigger deal than I had imagined or knew or felt or sensed. Yeah.
I imagine for for us as the viewers, they're very good at using lenses to make everything look enormous. And when you have 1,000 extras on a set, that's enormous enough. But then, as an 11-year-old girl, everything is bigger than you.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
must have been like they put some money into this one, baby. Jeez.
You can feel that for sure. And the costumes and the intricacy, because to have that many costumes for all of these extras that were so detailed, and
It's a period piece. This scene.
it really is, yes. And literally looking at the mountains, and they've carved the mountains to look like pyramids. I mean, now we just do everything CGI. This, they actually created a real set in the earth, in the three-dimensional reality, to look like Egypt. It was incredible.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that
I
one
mean,
day? Was that a week? How long did that pass for you?
I believe I was there for a week.
Okay.
That's yeah. Hmm.
Man. No dialogue.
No dialogue.
Yeah.
No dialogue. And that was something that Roland made. That was his feedback or response to me, was actually makes me want to cry. He really got that I could say everything without saying a word. And he made a comment about, like, it's in my eyes, right? And that was the essence of that moment, right? It's this tiny moment in this film. And it's a moment that is really important, that there's an understanding of that felt sense of what's happening. And it had to happen with no words.
Well, we're with you as an audience, you know. We're in your experience in this scene, discovering this world.
Yeah.
When they brought out that gate, as an audience, it's like, oh man, this A, the enormity of it, but B, the enormity of the reality that you guys are creating
Yeah.
and the adventure that we're all about to go on. What was that like?
Oh my gosh, that thing was so big. And it took multiple people. I mean, when you're watching that moment in the film and it's taking all those people to lift that it really took all those people to lift that. It was so humongous. And there was just something about being opposite this portal, right? I mean, it's like a real portal. That's how it feels. Like, yeah, it's a movie. Yeah, and like this thing feels like a real portal into other dimensional realities. I mean, that is really how it felt. And to be totally honest with you, in the moment, I didn't necessarily have a lot of connection to these beliefs around portals and all that stuff. But as time has gone on, I'm like, yeah, this is something I actually really believe is true and possible. And to go back and actually have had an experience of being in the physical presence of that kind of moment and that kind of experience where it's not just an idea. I'm in a physical reality, right? Where this thing is here. Oh my gosh, it was so incredible. It really
The
was.
It's not just a typical set. You know, you're not by today's standards operating with a green screen and just a handful of actors. Other people are going to be inserted. You know, you're in a landscape that is consumed has consumed your experience.
Yes.
And you're just here amongst all of it. I can't imagine what that must have been like for an 11-year-old, and to continue to carry that memory
Yeah.
into the future, where an entire franchise has been created based on that scene alone.
Right.
That's pretty magical to have been there on day one, as it were.
I have chills again, and I want to cry. It is that magical. I mean, I just look back and think, wow, right? You had no idea. You had no idea with your mind what that was going to be, but there was something of spirit, of soul that just also for my own self and my relationship to Egypt and all these things, just holy moly, it is nothing short of magic. That's right. That's
Wow.
exactly right. And thank you for saying that, because you're right. The landscape of that today, there is not really that kind of opportunity to go into a set in a way and actually feel like you're in the real experience of the thing, because it's green screened and because it's just completely different. So to have had the opportunity to do that in the time that I got to do it, because that's how it was done, and the budget was what it was, and the film was what it was, I feel so blessed. I mean, I just feel so fortunate that I got to be in that moment.
Thanks for watching this clip from Dial the Gate. You can find the full live stream shows on our YouTube channel or visit dialthegate.com for the complete schedule. See you on the other side.